Hello and welcome to the November 24th, 2024 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, I'm finally putting money into this pet project. We're live every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay. You can catch us on Facebook and YouTube. That's right, we are simulcasting. Hooray! And all of our previous episodes are available on both our Facebook and YouTube pages. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back into the world. Many of our articles are pulled from goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co, but we of course appreciate all of the articles sent in by you, the viewers. So, hello everybody. We're here again on Sunday. Hopefully we've got 6 great articles to go through, but of course we will begin with my laptop whirring up real bad, and our news brew. And our news brew is 14th Anniversary Imperial Strawberries and Cream Stout by Oddside Ales. This is an 11.8% ABV Imperial Stout. It was aged in whiskey barrels with vanilla and strawberry flavor, and I am really looking forward to this. Those are some fantastic flavors. So, we don't need the Balisong bottle opener because we've got a can, but we will get a nice crack on this can. We'll also make a mess of my hands in the process. And we are going to go with not the snifter of usual, but my Dragon's Milk Teku glass. Teku glasses are a really good alternative to snifters for imperial stouts or very high ABV beers. They're kind of like the wine glass of beer drinking, so I busted out one of my old triple mash Teku glasses for this. And we will get into the theatrics of a 5-minute pour. An important thing, though, with a Teku glass, don't fill it all the way up. Just like a wine glass, you don't fill a wine glass to the top with wine. You want about that much with a Teku. Ooh, that smells good. We're going to put that off to the side. Let's get into our shout-outs first and foremost. Pirate Cat's Treasure firmly believes everyone deserves the opportunity to be beautiful, fun, funky, sparkly, geeky, strong, or whatever makes you feel awesome, within a budget that won't hurt. They love helping you express who you truly are, so you can check them out for handmade jewelry, dice boxes, and home decor. They shop small business this holiday season. It makes a big difference. Links are in our description. Happy birthday to Brian, aka the Burger King, whose birthday was on November 22nd. Happy birthday, Brian. Cheers. And also cheers to Pirate Cat's Treasure. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! I just lit up at that beer. That strawberry hits hard. Oh, that is like Neapolitan ice cream in a glass. Hi, Julie. Still running around my place. Hey, no problem, Julie. Last shout out for this week is going to be a happy birthday to Daryk, an amazing friend of mine that I often call my son when we're hanging out or gaming. And Daryk's birthday is on November 29th, so happy birthday, my young ward. Cheers. Oh my, that is good. Our news quote this time around, a really good one. I'm touched by the idea that when we do things that are useful and helpful, collecting these shards of spirituality, that we may be helping to bring about a healing. And that is from Leonard Nimoy, who was an American actor, a director, a photographer, an author, a singer, and a songwriter, and was famed for playing the character of Spock in Star Trek for almost 5 decades. So again, I'm touched by the idea that when we do things that are useful and helpful, collecting these shards of spirituality, that we may be helping to bring about a healing. So to the late Leonard Nimoy, an amazing actor who had many talents throughout his years, cheers. Oh my. That is good. Okay, bug update. Bugs are thriving, which is great. Elmira is still in hibernation. We're probably not going to see her for the next couple months. She's on a biological clock, and during winter, they are checked out in their little burrows. So she's down at the bottom of the vivarium, sound asleep, which is good. Sue dug himself a nice burrow finally, which shows that he is very comfortable in his new home, which is really good and super bioactive, so it's looking great in there. I will get some updated pictures of their homes for sure and post them on the Next News page. And the Instagram. Ripley is scuttling about and looks quite well. They're a little plump, so they've been eating, which I'm very happy about. I added new cleaners over the weekend to the vivariums. I went and locally caught millipedes and isopods, aka woodlice or roly-polies, and I threw those in to all the vivariums that I've got to increase the bioactivity. Millipedes are fantastic cleaners for decaying matter, so moss and fungi and stuff like that that's gone bad, they're great at cleaning that up, so really good stuff. That's about it for catching up on things. I think we're ready to get into our broadcast. Our good news, and our broadcast is broken up into 4 major categories. Those categories are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice articles that we like to end on. So let's get in. We're going to start off in category 1, science and technology, and I called this first one Skynet, if it wasn't evil. And I will copy and paste this into the chats if y'all want to read along. Please somebody confirm that these went off in each of the chats for Facebook and YouTube. And while I wait, I'm going to top off my beer. Woohoo! Producer Donna confirming that we have liftoff. Telecom builds AI grandmother bot to talk to phone scammers and waste their time. This article was posted to Gizmodo on November 14th of 2024 by Thomas Maxwell. For all of AI's faults, like encouraging people to eat deadly mushrooms, sometimes it can be used to good ends. O2, the UK's largest mobile network operator, has deployed a voice-based AI chatbot to goad phone scammers into meandering, fruitless conversations. Called Daisy, or D-A-I-Z-S-Y, or D-A-I-S-Y, the chatbot mimics the voices of an elderly person, the most common target for phone scammers. Hi, Mona, in the YouTube chat. Yes, this beer is delicious. When a scammer gets Daisy on the phone, however, they're in for a long conversation that ultimately won't go anywhere. If they do reach the point where the scammer asks for personal information, like bank details, Daisy will make up fake information. O2 says that it's able to reach scammers in the first place by adding a phone number for Daisy onto easy target lists that scammers use for leads. In a video demonstrating Daisy, sound bites from real conversations show scammers becoming increasingly exasperated, being kept on the phone for upwards of 40 minutes, and holding out hope they will get a credit card number or bank details. The AI model that O2 made sounds very convincing. It's doing all the processing in real time. But thankfully, that's made easier as the elderly tend to speak quite slowly. Of course, the concern with a chatbot like Daisy is that the same technology can be used to opposite ends. We have already seen instances where real people, like CEOs of large companies, have had their voices deepfaked in order to trick others into sending money to a scammer. The elderly are already vulnerable enough. If they get a call from someone who sounds like a grandchild, they are almost certain to believe it's real. Ultimately, blocking fraudulent calls and shutting down the organizations that run these scams would be the ideal solution. Carriers have gotten better at identifying scammers and blocking their numbers. But it remains a cat-and-mouse game. Scammers take advantage of automated dialing tools that allow them to dial numbers in rapid succession and are alerted by the tool only when it gets an answer. An AI bot that frustrates scammers by answering and wasting their time is better than nothing. And I agree with that. I absolutely despise scammers. I think it is a loathsome business to be in. I curse all of them. And I am happy that O2 has produced a communication bot named Daisy who will waste all of their time. So to O2 and Daisy, doing the job we all need, ruining scammers' lives. Cheers. Ooh. Oh my, that beer is a Neapolitan ice cream. Or like Neapolitan cake in a glass. The vanilla is strong, like you threw straight vanilla beans into cake batter. The strawberry, very sweet. So, producer Donna, now we need one for ticket scalpers. Yes, we do. Alright, I always love concrete, so of course when this article came across, I had to use it. I called it Make Way for Shag Concrete. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along, and if someone would like to confirm that both of these went live, that would be solid. Mona sees a couple of links in YouTube, so it's looking like YouTube went through properly. Can I get a confirmation? Oh, yes, yes to both. All right, here we go. Carpet waste makes concrete crack-proof and boosts durability by 30%. This was posted to Industry Tap Into News on November 23rd of 2024 by Nidhi Goyal. A groundbreaking study conducted by researchers at RMIT University has revealed that incorporating carpet fibers into concrete mixtures can significantly reduce the likelihood of cracking. This innovative approach offers a sustainable solution to a common problem in the construction industry. Concrete, while a robust building material, is susceptible to cracking due to factors such as shrinkage, temperature fluctuations, and external stresses. These cracks can compromise the structural integrity of buildings and infrastructure. RMIT researchers discovered that adding carpet fibers to concrete mixtures can help prevent the formation of cracks. The fibers act as a bridge, closing the gaps that would otherwise form. This bridging effect enhances the concrete's ability to withstand stress and strain, leading to increased durability and longevity. Dr. Chamila, Dr. Kamiya, or it might be Kamiya actually, Dr. Kamiya Gunasakara, the lead researcher from RMIT University, explained that the team developed a method utilizing waste carpet fibers to reduce early age shrinkage cracking in concrete by as much as 30%, while also improving its overall durability. This study addresses a significant issue in the construction industry. The annual repair cost for cracks in reinforced concrete structures amounts to approximately $8 billion in Australia and an estimated $76 billion in the United States. This innovative research has the potential to revolutionize the construction industry. By incorporating recycled materials like carpet fibers, builders can create more sustainable and resilient structures. As the construction sector seeks to adopt greener practices, this discovery offers a promising path toward reducing the environmental footprint of building products or projects. RMIT University's research underscores the importance of exploring unconventional solutions to long-standing challenges. By repurposing waste materials and enhancing the performance of building materials, we can work toward a more sustainable future. That is really cool. To everybody at RMIT University and to Dr. Kamiya Gunasakara's team on introducing, carpet waste fiber to make concrete stronger and more crack resistant. Cheers. Hello, Rebecca, and thank you very much for sharing Nick's news. I really do appreciate that. My God, Sean has shown up in the Facebook chat. Longtime watcher and resident derailer Sean has returned with, by the way, while my life workload has drained me lately, you shall never be rid of me. And Sean, I couldn't be happier not to be rid of you. Thank you, and thank you for returning to us in one piece. That's really cool. I'm happy to see you, Sean. I'm happy to see everybody. I'm so happy with how everything's been going with the channel and with the YouTube. Just with the Facebook page, with the YouTube channel, even with the Instagram. Everything's really cool, and I'm happy to see all of this stuff going well. So that's going to get us out of science and technology. We're going to move on to category 2, health and medicine. I called the article that we've got in this one. Producer Donna was very upset with me when I named this article, but I went with it. I called it Disease Falls Off Like the Limbs It Afflicted. And I will copy and paste this into the chat for y'all to read along. If somebody could confirm that I get these articles posted properly to our Facebook and YouTube. Sean saying the next booking will be easier to harass me. Oh boy. You know what, Sean? I am perfectly fine with that. Producer Donna saying we've got to go. Will checking in saying LOL and it's here. Good to see Will. Rebecca also saying it's up. All right. We are off to the races. Jordan recognized as first in the world to eradicate leprosy. This was posted on Good News Network, a site that we have pulled several articles from as Nick's News has continued over the years. It was posted on November 5th of 2024 by Andy Corbley. It is a disease that has been plaguing commoners and kings alike for millennia, as well as armadillos. But for the first time in history, a country has completely eliminated leprosy. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan has completed this amazing achievement and is the first country ever to be recognized as doing so by the WHO, whose Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, jeez, I thought that last name was rough. The Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, congratulated the nation for their diligent work on behalf of their citizenry. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is a chronic infectious disease caused by Mycobacterium leprae. It primarily affects the skin, peripheral nerves, mucosal surfaces, and the upper respiratory tract and eyes. Left untreated, leprosy can cause permanent damage to the skin, nerves, limbs, and eyes. Early diagnosis and treatment can prevent disability. Leprosy is considered a neglected tropical disease, or an NTD, that still occurs in more than 120 countries. More than 200,000 new cases are reported every year. It famously affected King Baldwin IV, the Crusader monarch of Jerusalem from the 11th century, who is said to have worn a mask and veil to hide his disfiguration from his subjects. Leprosy has afflicted humanity for millennia, but country by country we are stopping transmission and freeing individuals, families, and communities from its suffering and stigma, said Dr. Ghebreyesus. Jordan's success in targeting transmission saw the country go without any reported autochthonous cases of leprosy for over 2 decades. And after a thorough review by the WHO investigation team, it was awarded the distinction of being the first to eliminate the disease entirely. Jordan's elimination of leprosy is an achievement that will transform the discourse around this age-old stigmatizing disease, said WHO Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean, Dr. Hannon Balke. As the first country to achieve this target globally, Jordan stands as an inspiration to other countries, encouraging them to enhance their efforts and overcome barriers to achieve this remarkable feat. The announcement follows on the heels of Egypt's recognition as being a malaria-free country. Diseases that have been plaguing us for millennia are finally getting knocked off the block. And this is just another great step in the right direction. Sean, you have a fantastic night. It was good to see you. So to the country of Jordan and its people for working to eradicate leprosy, cheers. Gonna top us off. I did have a big beer earlier too. I watched the finale for the show Arcane on Netflix, and holy crap, was that an amazing finale. But I needed a beer for that because that was an emotional roller coaster. Jeez. So that's going to get us out of health and medicine. We're going to move on to category 3, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. I called this first one the nose. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. And if someone wants to confirm for me that these hit the chat. Producer Donna following up me saying I needed an emotional support beer. I most certainly did. Seeing if Sue is out, but it doesn't look like it. Yes to both. All right, we are off to the races. These giant vest-wearing sniffer rats could help combat the illegal wildlife trade, scientists say. This was posted to the Smithsonian Magazine on October 30th of 2024 by Sarah Kuda, or Kuda. Gotta figure out how her last name is pronounced. Poachers and wildlife traffickers go to great lengths to disguise their contraband products so they can smuggle them out of a country. They'll paint ivory tusks black, or coat them in chocolate and wrap them in candy bar-like packaging. They'll hide pangolin scales in boxes of cashews, or create containers with false walls and hidden compartments. They'll smother their illegal goods in smelly materials to try and confuse sniffer dogs. But law enforcement officials may soon have a new tool for combating these and other tactics. Rats. No worries, Mona, on the YouTube. Forgot to confirm they got drawn right into the article. I did too. The producer Donna sent me this one, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be cool. Scientists are training African giant pouched rats, Chrysotomys ansorgae, to sniff out pangolin scales, rhino horns, elephant tusks, and African blackwood being transported illegally. These clever critters have not only learned how to identify the contraband items, but they've also figured out how to alert their handlers. They use their front paws to tug on a little ball attached to a custom red neoprene vest they wear when working, which triggers a beeping sound. Researchers describe the skills of these vest-wearing sniffer rodents in a new paper published Tuesday in the journal Frontiers in Conservation Science. The African giant pouched rat is the world's largest rat, weighing 3 pounds on average and stretching some 2 to 3 feet long from the nose to the tip of the tail. That is a huge rat! The nocturnal rodents live in sub-Saharan Africa and earn their name from the pouches in their cheeks, which they use to store food like chipmunks. Importantly, these rodents have a keen sense of smell, and they're quick learners. In the past, scientists with the Tanzania-based nonprofit APOPO have trained African giant pouched rats to detect tuberculosis, find landmines, and locate earthquake survivors. More recently, the team turned its attention to fighting the illegal wildlife trade. Rebecca in the Facebook chat saying that she wants one. Producer Donna, the ratsters. Mona, I love the harness on the rat. Cute. They do look adorable. They look like they're going to work. They really do. For the new study, researchers worked with 11 rats named Kirsty, Marty, Attenborough, Irwin, Betty, Teddy, Ivory, Ebony, Desmond, Thoreau, and Fossey. Using food as a reward, the team first taught the rodents how to stick their snouts into a hole where they'd be exposed to scent samples, a behavior called a nose poke. Once the furry participants had mastered this skill, the researchers then began introducing the rats to 4 commonly smuggled items, as well as objects that are often used to mask the smell of these illicit products. The target odors were pangolin scales, rhino horns, elephant tusks, and African blackwood, a tree that is often used to make musical instruments. The non-target odors were things like coffee beans, washing powder, or electrical cables. In total, 8 of the rats completed the training and learned how to differentiate between the 4 targets and 146 non-target smells. When the scientists tested the rodents 5 and 8 months later, they still remembered the smells they had been taught. If the trained rats become employed, so to speak, they could one day help curb a major global problem. The illegal wildlife trade is worth an estimated $7 billion to $23 billion per year, per a report from the United Nations Environment Program and Interpol. It's now the 4th largest illegal trade industry behind narcotics, human trafficking, and counterfeit products, according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Wildlife is deemed to be a low-risk commodity, says Crawford Allen, who serves as Vice President of Nature Crimes and Policy Advocacy for the World Wildlife Fund and was not involved in the sniffer rat research, to CNN's Alex Rodway. Unfortunately, organized crime knows there's a real weak spot in detection methods of ports, seaports, and airports, particularly in Africa. Once the sniffer rats had mastered their contraband detecting behaviors in a laboratory setting, researchers took them out into the real world for a trial run. Last year, they headed to the seaport of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, a major hub for international trade. Per CNN. The rodents successfully found more than 83% of planted targets, even when the targets were masked by other scents. African giant pouched rats likely won't replace sniffer dogs, but rather, they may eventually be used to complement the trained canines. Rats are smaller and nimbler than dogs, which gives them an advantage when it comes to exploring small nooks and crannies. You could envision detection dogs screening vast open areas or tracking poachers, while rats screen container contents or specific packages, says study co-author Kate Webb, a neuroscientist at Duke University, to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Hannah Murphy. Rats are also cheaper to transport and maintain than dogs are, and they have no problem working with different human handlers. They also tend to be quick and easy to train, and they live a long time, potentially up to 11 years, so the return on investment is high. The rat's relative affordability is an especially big perk because smugglers are often trafficking wildlife products from poorer countries. Existing screening tools are expensive and time-intensive, and there is an urgent need to increase cargo screening, says study co-author Isabel Zott, a behavioral ecologist who trained the rats at the Apopo, but now works at the Okeanos Foundation in Germany, in a statement. Apopo's rats are cost-efficient scent detection tools. They can easily access tight spaces like cargo in packed shipping containers or be lifted up high to screen the ventilation systems of sealed containers. That is really cool. To everybody at Apopo for using trained African giant pouched rats to find wildlife contraband. Cheers. All right, so that's going to get us out of flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. We are going to go on to category 4, the wholesome notes, the really nice touchy-feely articles we end on. I called this first one Paying Back Dad for Diaper Money. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Once you see it, please confirm that it has hit the chat. Mona confirming. Producer Donna, yes to both. All right, we're off to the races. Son surprises dad with dream car he gave up for diaper money 41 years ago. This was posted to goodnewsnetwork.org on November 20th of 2024 by Andy Corbley. From Texas comes the beautiful story of love and appreciation between a father and son, and of a man who gave up his dream car to be a dad. It was Earl Guinness's 65th birthday, and he unexpectedly found himself on a car lot being spoken to by a magician. Suddenly, his son held up a pair of keys and told him they fit inside the ignition of a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro that was sitting just over his shoulder. It was a car Earl knew very well. It was a car he sold 40 years ago so he could pay for diapers. An automotive industry worker, Earl was working in parts as a 22-year-old in Mesquite, and an employee came in one day with a 67 Camaro that made Earl's eyes light up. It was loud, he told NBC5, the kind of car that had everyone looking out of the corner of their eyes as it passed down the block. He had a few good years with the Camaro, but after marrying his wife Mona and having their son Jared, he did what any responsible dad would do and traded in the dream of youth for the sake of the future. I used to tease Jared quite a bit. I used to have a car like that one over there, and I said, yeah, I let it go for diaper money, Earl told NBC. You needed diapers, and so that's what happened to that car. Jared joked that he never believed his father, but gradually the fixation on the Camaro he left behind rubbed off on his son, who came to know it better than his father did. It's a 1967 Marina Blue Camaro SS with a 350 small block V8, an automatic 3-speed transmission. Krager chrome 15-inch mag wheels with white letters on the tire, small 1969 style cowl hood on the front, and small little whale tail on the back and a black interior, said Jared. He always imagined that what a great thing it would be to get that car back in the family. And then, in 2021, he had a great business year. Instead of paying down debt or doing something responsible, he did what any Guinness man would do and started looking at a cool car. Finding a 67 Camaro exactly like his father once owned, Jared bought it and began secretly restoring it. Like any old muscle car, there was ample need for TLC. Wanting Dad to really understand how much I love him and how important he is to me, and how good of a job he did being a dad, I wanted to find the biggest, most symbolic, most outrageous way to help him understand how much. And I'm like, what is the greatest thing possible? And it was the Camaro. It was always the Camaro, he said. Shared with NBC, the video of the surprise when Jared showed his dad what he had done warms the heart, and the news outlet said that Jared replaced many of the old systems for new, safer, more refined ones. And in the article, there is a video of Jared giving his father this 67 Camaro, just an absolutely beautiful, touching moment. So, to the Guinness family, to Earl, a father who gave up the car of his dreams for diapers for his son Jared, and to Jared for getting that car back and showing your dad how much you love him. Cheers. Mona in the YouTube chat, what I would love to find is the Model A my grandfather restored. It had a rumble seat, and Grandpa brought Santa to the neighborhood every year in that car. It was an amazing treat to drive. Mona, that is beautiful. Wow. Alright, last article of the night I called Operation Santa. I am going to copy and paste this into the chat for y'all to read along. Let me know when it hits the chats. I've got a yup in Facebook, waiting to see if it hit in YouTube. Hey, Tim. And producer Donna confirming we are good to go. All right, off to the races. USPS takes Santa's workshop online, partnering with Toys R Us to fulfill wishes for children in need. This was posted to goodgoodgood.co on November 19th of 2024 by Cameron Baker. We already know the guy in the big red suit is timeless, but he might have a bit of competition. The United States Postal Service has also been fulfilling the holiday wishes of children across the country for over a century. For 112 years, Operation Santa, a program run by the USPS, has encouraged members of the public to adopt a wish list and donate toys to children in need. This year, the Postal Service's elves have upped the ante through a partnership with Toys R Us, debuting an online e-commerce catalog that makes the fulfillment of gifts even easier for donors. The new site has streamlined the letter-to-gift process, allowing participants to shop for the ideal gift and ship it from the comfort of their homes with just a few clicks. It's called, aptly, Santa's Gift Shop. Although Toys R Us remains a notable name in American households, the company filed for bankruptcy about 7 years ago. In more recent years, however, it has somewhat made a comeback, with pop-up toy shops inside of department stores and more. This e-commerce pivot marks the company's ongoing revival, with Operation Santa participants shopping the brand's online catalog, which includes a selection of popular toys and gifts to fulfill the wishes of letter-writing children across the country. Dear Santa, I would like to have something like 1. A gab watch to call my mom. 2. An art set. 3. Yarn for sewing. 4. I don't know if you give this, but a baby bunny. It's okay with my mom. And 5. A notebook and cute pens. I love Santa. Thank you, Santa. Love, Brianna. This was an example of a submitted letter from a child named Brianna, courtesy of the USPS. USPS Operation Santa has connected communities through holiday goodwill for over a century, said USPS Marketing Vice President Sheila Holman in a statement. This year, through our collaboration with Toys R Us, we're thrilled to bring an easier way for generous people to make a difference. With the launch of this new e-commerce platform, we're making it simpler than ever to help fulfill wishes and spread holiday joy. USPS also shared in a press release that this integration will hopefully be the start of a larger online catalog to include more products to further the impact of Operation Santa, such as books and clothing. But for now, the joy of a brand new toy is certainly a great way to spread hope and love this holiday season. At Toys R Us, our mission is to bring joy to children, and what better way than to surprise them with gifts from Santa, Gary Haas, Vice President of E-commerce at Toys R Us, said. Through this new e-commerce platform, generous individuals can easily adopt a letter to Santa and help create magical moments for a new generation of Toys R Us kids. Submitting a letter through Operation Santa is as easy as visiting the project's website. Writers do not need to register online, but will have to send a physical letter to Santa, which must be postmarked by December 9th. Whether kids and families want to get crafty or use the provided templates from the USPS, the agency recommends being specific with asks, like listing specific books or game titles and including clothing sizes. Dear Santa, I have been a good boy this year. For Christmas I would like 1. A baby shark toy. 2. A big car. 3. Give a toy to someone else. Love, Killian. This was an Operation Santa letter from a child named Killian, courtesy of the USPS. All letters need to include the writer's first and last name, as well as a complete return address. From there, envelopes will need a postage stamp and can be addressed to Santa, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888. The letters are brought to Santa's mailroom, where personal information is redacted and uploaded to the USPS website to be adopted by a generous member of the public. People can visit the online platform to read letters, select their favorites, and shop online. Letters are also available in both Spanish and English, which can be sorted with a filter on the Operation Santa website. Those who want to do this must register online and create an account. Once verified, each person can adopt up to 15 letters. All adoptions are digital, and while the new virtual integrations make it easy to ship items through USPS, people can still send gifts themselves by bringing a scannable code to a post office location. Just like all holiday shipping, however, there are deadlines to keep in mind. December 16th is the last call to adopt letters and is also the recommended date for shipping items. Mona in the YouTube, why do I keep forgetting that program? I need to do that. I need to, too. This is incredible. Generous individuals who adopt Santa letters can reconnect with that nostalgic feeling of being a Toys R Us kid, sharing that sense of wonder and delight with a new generation when they receive their gifts from Santa, Holman told USA Today. Last year, nearly 30,000 Santa letters received a response, and Holman added that the program is more vital now than ever for struggling families, adding that it's a reminder of the power of kindness and connection. To everybody at the United States Postal Service and Toys R Us for working on Operation Santa and delivering toys to children across the country and possibly across the world. Cheers. Just as producer Donna said in the chats, we do have the link. If any of you would like to buy gifts, or if you have a kid in need, a kid you know that's in need that needs a gift, links for those are in the description. But that really is something. That is amazing. Just all around cool. And that's it. 6 great articles. I've really loved the articles this week, and it's gonna get even crazier coming here into the end of the year. So our next episodes, our next couple of weeks are gonna be the last ones of 2024. We're closing it out, so we're gonna do some fun stuff. Our next episode, that's on December 1st, is gonna be a live cool news episode. Some of you will remember a couple weeks ago I was out of town, and I had to do a pre-recorded episode, which was a cool news episode. A lot of the articles that y'all sent in are great. Some of them aren't so much good news as they are really cool news. So we hold on to those, and then we're going to present them in a future cool news episode. And I'm going to do that one live. We're going to have a ton of articles, so it's going to be a long one. But that'll be next week on December 1st. After that, we're going to have the December 8th episode, and I believe that one is back to form. I think that's a regular episode. Producer Donna, help me out here. Was the 8th and the 15th both going to be normal episodes? I know we were talking about it on... Okay, so 8th is regular. How about the 15th? trying to remember, we were just talking about this the other day, because we're going to do 2 special ones. Okay, so the 8th and the 15th are both going to be regular episodes, but the 22nd and the 29th are going to be special episodes. The 22nd, we're going to do a follow-up episode. We're going to be looking at a lot of the articles that we did throughout this year, and we've found follow-up information on them. So we're going to be posting about the follow-ups to that good news. There was articles that were found by all of you, and articles that we picked out throughout the year. So we'll do an episode of follow-ups to see that good news has been continuing. And then the 29th is going to be something I've never done before, but I think is really good for the end of a year. We're going to do a year in review. We're going to be going over old articles and basically just doing a review of how Nick's News was the last year, and also gearing up for the new year. I'm hoping to bring a lot of new stuff next year to the table, new technology, some new odds and ends to help with Nick's News and to keep it growing and keep it going. So it'll be a really good input episode too, and I'm looking forward to those. So I hope you are too. That's about it though for this one. As always, I thank you again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page or the YouTube page. We're live every Sunday. Our next episode is December 1st, 2024, and it will be a cool news episode. I encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, you can send suggestions or post suggestions for news brews, for shout-outs, for news quotes, and of course, articles that we can present on future episodes of Nick's News. You can message us on Facebook or our Instagram or email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. If you message the Facebook, send it to the Nick's News Facebook Messenger. That way it gets to the right place and the team can review the articles or whatever you send in. So feel free to subscribe, comment on our posts on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram to get good news and joy into the algorithm. We're still working on that. We've seen a lot of growth on both the Facebook page and the YouTube page. I couldn't thank you all enough for that. Numbers are going up, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy to be getting good news into the algorithm. We're hoping to break 200 followers on Facebook before the end of the year. We've got several weeks left, so that'd be really cool to just get. I think we're at 196 followers. If we can just get 4 more and close out the year at 200, that'd be fantastic. And the YouTube is growing too, and I can't thank you all enough for that, for word of mouth and getting good news out into the world. So thank you all very much. As always, thank you all again. I love you all. Have a great night, and I will play us out.